Okay, I'm done. Here we go.
Good afternoon to all, and welcome again to Tell Me Over Coffee. Our guest of today was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and came to the US with a theater background when he was 15, where he attended high school and college. He was cast in over 20 short film productions, including Argo with Ben Affleck. He is the second lead in the Hollywood feature film Mobster 2013, which he also cast. In his first year of casting as a casting agent, our guest cast over 10 films. He also has had feature roles in the TV show 24 and in films Iron Man and Hancock. He also worked on General Hospital in 2019 and booked 4 roles in feature films in 2019. He also starred as Intimate 093 in Tom Six's horror film trilogy, The Human Centipede 3 Final Sequence in 2015. He played an Arab prisoner who becomes part of a 500-person centipede and shared an unforgettable scene with Eric Roberts. He is a member of the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television. He looks forward to an exciting adventure as an actor, producer, and writer in the film industry. Our guest, who is a CSA casting director, is very well known in the Arab American community as one of the first online Manassa and Arab American casting directors with over 80,000 members worldwide and growing on the ArabAmericanCasting.com and ManassaActors.com website and app. He worked in the LA casting unit on the documentary He Named Me Malala in 2015 with the Oscar winning director Davis Guggenheim and also helped with the casting in Argo 2012. He has been working to change the perception of Arab and Middle Eastern artists in Hollywood through his acting and casting work. As a casting director, he has worked on over 40 feature and short films, commercials, and television shows. In addition, he worked as a voiceover artist in the films X-Men Days of Future Past 2014 and Escape Plan 2013, amongst others. He also speaks Arabic, Lebanese, Syrian, Egyptian, Moroccan, Iraqi, and Palestinian. HAMZAH SAMAN, marhaba.
مرحبا كيفك؟
So, anyone in your family in this industry?
No, but my neighbor was. That will help.
Your neighbor was?
My two of my neighbors in Lebanon. They were Salim and Abu something. They had like I forgot but they had like cafe in Lebanon. Like
Mhm,
no, they had like the TV show in Lebanon with Salim. So the
mhm,
main two guys that were like neighbors. They lived next to the cola shop, the old cola factory. They call it the
mhm.
cola area. Like yeah, So but they passed away. So but I used to
Yeah.
see them all the time, and they're like normal people, but they're
Wow.
superstars.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were your neighbors.
But yeah, but we're not like like it's just a normal area. And
Yeah.
you can see Abu Salim, or I hope I'm saying his name right.
Mhm,
But he was on the first floor, and if anybody hearing this, they probably know is that on the Coca-Cola in Lebanon, the street, like the
mhm.
main street, and you can see him like there, like every day, hanging out with his wife and just normal. Yeah.
You do have theater background, so I imagine that your parents, when you decided to continue acting in the States, when you got to the States at the age of 15, I assume that your parents always, or at least almost always, supported you on this adventure.
I would say my grandma did because I was raised by my grandma. So
Hmm.
she recently passed away like 2 years ago.
Wow. So,
Uh, yeah, so my father was kidnapped in Lebanon when I was a child, and my mom is still around. So, but my grandma raised me, and my mom and my grandma always they always very supportive.
mhm.
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a movie star. It's not was like used to watch TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's great because it's really important. I mean, it's I could say, okay, let's be a bit equal. I would say it's about 50% important or even more, because if you don't have family support while you're enduring your adventure, it's and because I think it's easier when you can already prove and say, see, well, this is me and here I am doing all these films and I'm being paid for this and I have a lot of money. But when you until you get there, it's I can understand as a mother that it's a very hard job,
Yeah,
and it's a very uncertain job. You never know when you're going to work.
yes,
So as a parent, you're always trying to protect or maybe overprotect the children and trying to say, hey guys, how about if you find a normal job, that brings food to the table. So it is very important to have family support.
yeah. It is important. At the same time, as you said, it's so difficult to support somebody and this kind of like go inside the volcano.
Yeah.
Um, you can't come out. Like when you're in your end, you know. But
Hmm.
it's really what makes a person happy. I mean, I see a lot of like managers, like a mom who are the managers.
Yeah.
They that's what I see what they're doing. Their kids are really happy at what they do, and they're just kind of following through.
Yeah.
So if it makes you happy, it makes me happy in this business. Honestly, like it probably makes me more money if I'm an engineer or a doctor. I would have been an engineer or a doctor already. But it makes me happier where I am today, like deep inside. So
Yeah, but it's like you said, maybe it would have made them happier, but not you. And really, it's about your life. So,
yeah,
because
yeah, absolutely.
up to a certain point, you do become independent, and your life is really yours, and it's yours to manage. So, it's just. But I do understand. I understand both sides because I'm on both sides, so I do understand the whole thing.
Yeah,
Um, as I said, you started as an actor, and then you decide to become also a casting director. And you are the first Manasa, one of the first Manasa casting directors in the States. When did your passion really start for acting? And when did you decide that you wanted to become a casting director for American Arab actors in the US?
yeah. I never really decided to become a casting director because my I wanted to be an actor. That was the goal. That was the goal. And I went to school. I became SAG AFTRA, and I started going to SAG AFTRA Foundation meeting, which they're free for all of us. And they have casting director come in there. And I saw a casting director come in there. It didn't click to me. So what happened is how it started is I was on Argo.
Mm-hmm.
In Argo, when you have 20-hour days sometimes working, we it was like we talk too much to each other for hours. And as a SAG actor who happened to be Middle Eastern, all these Middle Eastern people were asking me at that time, beginning of the Argo shoot, how'd you
Hmm.
get in and blah blah blah. And I'm like, at that time I had like going through bad time. I had like a surgery on my arm, so it was like very kind of like I have nothing. I literally broke. So people were asking me like, "How'd you get in?" And I'm doing basically anything I can do on that set to work. And I was telling people I talk too much, how I got into SAG and what's the breakdown and all the stuff that I know. And I keep doing it. And then I see how they were looking for actors and Middle Eastern background and Persian people and all that, and they couldn't like they doing it so hard. And I'm like, I can just do that on my Facebook. Like I can just because I used to be a mortgage broker and I used to work as a manager for sales, a lot of places like such LA Fitness. I was a manager for LA Fitness for sales. So for that kind of uh, experience, I create sales on the spot. Like I sit on my desk and I make sales. And then when I went home, I didn't have an arm. Obviously all I had is just a computer. I clicked that I should probably open a group. I opened a group and it's called United Arab American Actors, but it was stolen by somebody. So after this, I started to open another group. I met my friend Joey, and he told me the reality of life that people will always kind of steal things from you. You're gonna have to, if you have an idea, you have to make it solid. And he actually gave me an idea to open Arab American casting. So him and I, we just started doing Arab American casting. My brother was at that time in IT, So he just killed it. And one night he just literally opened a website. And because
Mm-hmm.
we were screwed over in a way by other people who were Arab American, but we didn't like that. We didn't like that fact that we as actors, we have to have kind of like mentality of mobsters out there, or some people trying to just take your commission, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna look good because we need to represent ourselves as a good people because we just came out of 9/11,
Yeah.
so and we were literally just doing terrorist work. So by doing technically being the way they were, so we I decided to open a company, and I decided to become a casting director to represent my people as my grandma would be proud, with honesty and respect. And we never charge any actor any money. That's why you see my name says CSA next to it now. It would have never earned that honor to be a CSA casting director for the past 12 years. I messed anything up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at now. For 12 years, we've been fighting so hard to get our people to know that we're just casting people. You can we're just trying to get you involved, but it's
Mm-hmm.
all about you too. I mean, if you're a writer, you should write a story about you. If you're a director, you should start directing. I've got American Arab director coming to America, and I cast for them, and they didn't want anything to do with cast Arab actors. So it was like, whoa, that was shocking. It happened a few times. Like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to cast American. I'm like, oh, you're an American director. You're an Arab director. You should come to Arab America and cast people Arab American. That's my opinion. You should cast your people. But that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. We're doing to remind people that now we're on a whole different level. We need to just do our job. Like you can get your agent, you get manager, and it's gonna. It's I want people to be represented equally. And I want them to be represented. Our people wasn't represented and wasn't even labeled at that point. A lot of people didn't want to be called Arab American. They just Caucasian in here. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't really break that. And I mean, I wanted to call us Arab American, and I want to call us Arab actors. And now I have a new website called MiddleEasternActors.com, because when the casting process come in, those thought will come in. Oh, I should probably cast an Arab actors. Like when we did Aladdin, there's a lot of that thought with the bigger casting people didn't
Mm-hmm.
cross their mind because they thought it's all the same in a way, ultimately. And I'm like, I got in a little late, and I don't tell people things that I'm not gonna tell. Hey, let me stop. I don't do that. I just kind of go with the flow. And after the movie was cast, I did have a little bit of a report of that how I was a little bit unhappy with the casting, um, but at the end of the day, it's not the casting; it's really the actors and is the writers. They have to step up. They have to. Then the Arab actor have to step up, but I feel they can't in a way. Like when we did Aladdin, a lot of the requirement was you just have to know how to sing a little bit. Like any actor who went to acting school will sing. Just bottom line, they'll sing the line, and then you just have to speak English and audition. That's it. And I know how to audition. And a lot of those requirement people kind of like missed out. In the way. So they, it's this. It's just part of education of what the West Ford needed. Is part of give them information, and that's why I'm happy, honestly, that I became CSA casting director, because
Mm-hmm.
I want to give those people those information. I don't want to just empower them, but I want to kind of like give them the information that needed completely free, just like it's been given to other actors in other industry, and they have to take those information and just become better. So when they come to our audition, they book it book it as it's supposed to be, not as they want it to be. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be talking about that a little bit more somewhere in between. Acting or casting? Which one is your favorite and why?
Well, it's I mean, if anybody gonna say acting, because acting is casting in a way, but casting is it's so much more. I mean, not fun. Like when I cast something, I still have like, oh, why didn't I cast myself as a lead, right? You still
Yeah.
have that thing in your head, because you are the actor. So I would say the answer is hard. The only way I can answer it to you is like make it basically choosing between my daughter and my son.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, and I can give you a good example because acting and do voiceover, it's such a, like, you remember every second on set. I remember every single minute, like it's like
Mhm.
a birth of my kid. Like it doesn't. I just remember all of it, and if people become friends, they become my friend. It's just a weird experience. With
Mhm.
casting, it has different type. But when I do feature film, when I work with a director one on one, that's my favorite because we're like cooking together. When I'm not being like, when a director working with me and know we're working together, that is fun. So
You're
it's just
talking
a
about
fun
as
process.
you're talking as a casting director, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's the fun part is just kind of doing it together. It's like
Okay.
breaking down the actor as a person and as a character and breaking down everything and seeing why he's good for this role and learn just keep breaking it down. And I love it. I just love just getting narrow because I kind of talk too much, but I just go in the moment to try and get to close down the deal. And again, as I'm a salesman, so I always sell the people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, would you say that, for instance, being an actor is just okay, is creating one character, but when you're a casting director, you're creating a lot of characters with I mean, you're helping to create these characters.
yeah,
Yeah, I find it maybe it's more fun, but obviously, if you're like me, that you still are passionate about acting, well, it's hard. It's hard to be an actor and a casting director
yeah,
because, as you said, you can't cast yourself for some
yeah.
project. I
Well,
mean,
I
it would,
could. I mean, I could
yeah, but
because
it wouldn't be really professional.
well, I mean, Mobster, I was pretty good at it. I there's
I'm not saying that you're not a good actor.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
I'm
no, no,
saying is
no, it
that,
wouldn't be professional, but at the same
yeah, it
time,
wouldn't
like
be very,
my
yeah,
response to that is
ethically, yeah,
my response.
ethically, it wouldn't be professional.
No, 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 no. I understand that. No, it won't be professional just to cast yourself like that,
Yeah.
But the idea is the choice is always will be the director's choice,
Oh
right?
no, definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And my job as a casting director, and I told that to other casting director when they told me how you do that. I'm like, my job is to deliver. If the delivery has to be me or one of my cat, because my
Yeah.
cat, if you want my cat to be in your movie, I have to. If you don't pay $100 for it a day, no problem. So the idea is you want to deliver, like you really see it in me. So when Human Centipede came to Arab American casting, it came in as a casting deal, but you don't see it as a casting deal anymore because
Mhm.
I took it over as an actor. And what
Yeah.
happened is, and people can probably listen to this. They hopefully they comment, and some people I offer the role to people. I just offer it. Hey, this is for you. It's just a non-union little issue here and there. It's a human centipede, you're going to
Mhm.
play a therapist, A lot of people didn't like it. And the people that they want me to approach didn't like it. But my picture was on the website and they said, can we have this guy to audition? And I did, and I won. So it's in a way, and then when a new feature film come in, I try so hard to stay in the back because now I'm like, at my agent, I'm booking almost 80% of my stuff. So my feature film come in, they offer me a role. I'm like, oh, there's so many other people, and they just start giving the other people the role. So it's in a way, it's like I work on movies like when I work on Argo and I did some of the casting, for the voiceover and stuff. I came back as a background because they trying to hook me up with jobs, like whatever. It's just so much. Yeah, you want to do background, you're SAG after. Just go ahead, $150 a day, no problem. So
Mhm.
it's a job, but when you're not gonna be able to get the lead actor unless the lead actor is you, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but no, I listen. The casting thing is such a like bless. Like to be honest with you, it's just not just such a like it's like worth living for in a way, Um, because before I had the company before I had my kid, and it was like really exciting. Every day I wake up, I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't believe it. I own this company. This is my thing. I found it. Like this is the American dream in a way because like it's just cooking it. Everybody knows about it. I go anywhere on set, big small people. I met like big people like from Disney. I work with them. just because of the company I built, and it's just online.
Mhm.
So every day I'm very excited, and then I got into a big casting offices, small casting. It just I can't really. It's just a really hard answer, but and then I love acting. I've learned acting, and just that's who I am. I want to act. So I tell this to my actors: if you're better than me, then you're better than me. But they usually you can't go the role that because
Yeah.
I'm already a character. I'm already a person that people know how I act. I can't change. I can't really act too. I'm not gonna change my character too much. Just always be myself.
Mhm.
But you never know where we're going. Like I became a CSA, I was surprised in a way. Like, whoa. I mean, I did feature films and I worked very, very hard, but
Mhm.
I didn't know it was just gonna be like,
Yeah.
it took me about half a year to apply, but it's
Mhm.
still very surprised. I was like, whoa, what should I do now? But now it's more focused on casting.
Mhm.
I do what I do, whatever, whatever God want me to go, I'll go.
Out of all of your projects as a casting director, which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, well, um, I would have to say Jassers, the
Mm-hmm.
movie Jasser, because it's still in the cooking. It just I love the director. I just love him. I just love him to death. I mean, he lifts me up every time I talk to him. He just like it doesn't matter how much I screw up that day. I screw up a few times. But he lifts me up. He just always finds the positive and just run with it, and then just like boom, boom, boom. This is what you did. This is what you did. And I hang up the phone. And I'm like fired up to do better. But it took about 4 years of work. Um, it has the up and down. What made it a great relationship. But it's up. It's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
We got people from Lebanon to play Syrian people, so they had to learn the accent. And I auditioned people from Syria, I auditioned people from Lebanon, I auditioned people from LA.
Mm-hmm.
The director. He has so many Emmy awards. He's Arab. He's Arab from Jordan. So
Mm-hmm.
he won so many things. He had accomplished so much. So when he come to me, he said, um, "This is the first and last movie I ever make," or something like that. And then he came up to me one point. He's like, "I'm not gonna make a movie about Arab people anymore. It's done." And then halfway through, he just fell in love with us. Fell in love with Arab culture again. Like his people, and because I knew that in the beginning, my my objective was to show him that the good side of Arab people, and that would just that like he probably didn't know that, but everybody have as an actor you have an actor objective. As a
Mm-hmm.
person, as a casting director, I kind of approach it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
My director, I when I work with them, I have two objectives. One, to make sure they fall in love with the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about me. You can fall in love with me later, but fall in love with the actor because if you fall in love with the actor, just working with me is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Working with you is easy too, and that is just something that I try to do. But very very important to show them the culture. See, my
Mm-hmm.
grandma was very good Arabic woman. You know what I mean? Both of them they were just so when I came to America, like some asshole people, if you want to call it, have a different perspective about us. So I'm like, no, no, this is how we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show my director all the time that Arabic people, Arab American, were really good, and eventually he saw it. He saw it in my lead actors, the actors that pop out of nowhere. We did shooting in LA. He saw it
Mm-hmm.
in when I put out a shot for my friend Naga. She saved the film from LA. She came in and helped me, like put it all together again. So there's a lot of Arabic people come in together and from all over the world, from Syria, Lebanon, and I kind of chose them. They didn't know when they go there. I mean, Malik Rahbani is the
Mm-hmm.
nicest person I've ever met. Like I'm sorry, probably nice. I'll just say that bottom line. Very nice, very professional, and it's also very talented. So he went there and he killed the performance. And for me, when I get calls right now from the director or producer, we love Malik, we love Malik, we can't wait to see Malik. And then Lorraine, and she was Barcodes in the movie. She was in Sopranos, you know. So they, you know, I just can't wait for it to come out because then you'll see what I'm talking about. How
Mhm.
literally trying to better our culture through my films.
Mhm. As I said, you are American born Lebanese. Would you say that you have the same opportunities as any other American in this industry, not only project wise as an actor, but also as a casting director and salary wise?
I kind of, I'm sorry. Can you just do that again? The question.
I said, would you say that you have the same opportunities as other Americans in this industry, not only as an actor, but also as a casting director? Not only in opportunities, job opportunities, but also salary wise.
I mean, I have my own company. You know, I don't really have other opportunities. I make my own opportunities. I'm hoping to get other opportunities out there. You know, like now, yeah, I can probably work for different studios, but at the same time, that I build this by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm, you know, when I work with other studio, I usually work like as associate, and I'm really bad at putting numbers out. Like I sometimes I tell people about the number and I walk away and I slap myself in the face like, oh no, should have put like a little bit up. So I'm not really good at that. Like I even asked them, like one of my manager for acting, like, hey, you want to be a manager for casting? He's like, no, I don't do that. Like, who wants to talk about the money now? So it's that question I would answer to you is no, no. I when I used to apply for jobs, I was very scared because my name was Hamza. You know, I was like, oh, you know, like I'm not gonna get that job every time. Every time it was just really hard. And
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna say like, oh no, no, this America is not like that. It is. I mean, we voted for Trump twice. He literally won this year, this time around. He won the big numbers, you know, but he didn't win. Thanks God. So we voted for him twice, and he's a racist person. He's truly like you know,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not gonna get there, but you know, and you see it, it's scary. I used to at one point I did Ubers. People used to like you know harass me when I'm doing Uber. So I like calling my brother crying, like you know, people like, hey, you know, it's true, it happened. So this is the country, and my stage name was Hamza. My company in Arab American Casting, you know, it's because of the racism that I got. It's very like in Lebanon, like when I was in Lebanon, they come to me and say, "Hey, you're from Beirut, Beirut, you know, something like that." People like I am from Beirut. I am sitting in Beirut, and then I realized I was a kid. There were people who were being racist or something, you know. But now I came to America, it was in your face, like whoa. And then a little bit after 9/11, it wasn't in your face. It was like right behind you, and it was hurtful. Like in your face, I'll take it, you know, because now I know. But when you applying for a job and you as like we named our kid like you know different, you know, because you know we want to make sure he can apply for jobs too, you know. So it's a process, you know. It's a process. That's why I love my company, and we still underdog. Like yeah, I'm in CSA, but a lot of people right now they're focusing on a different things. Like they have 1 month of things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the good thing about uh, I think it was April. April, I believe, was officially Arab American Heritage Month. So hopefully next year we can just kind of like go in on that and just kind of like work on it more. But I found a lot of Arab American kind of like lone wolf, and they want the credit for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
um, and or people like copycat
Yeah.
Arab American, which is kind of shitty. You shouldn't be like if you see something Arab American like done nicely, you know. It's like some people copy my company a few times that you know, and it's like if you set up copying, you can come and help, and you can become leader with us. Like you don't, there's no money in there. I just told you, it's like what I'm gonna do casting for a week. How much should I make? How much would you pay me? Would you pay me $1,000 a day? No way. You're gonna pay me at least like 100 to 200 a day, you know. So it's if you look at it, I do it because I love it. I love it so much, but I know also there will be room down the line. There will be room for me to grow and succeed bigger. So I just have to keep going and just focus on the mission. Hopefully
Mhm.
that works.
What do you think about actors that are being classified by their ethnicity and origins or religion? What I mean is that if the story needs characters to tell, to portray them, and these need obviously these actors to play them, and actors really know none of religion or ethnicity or anything. Why do you think the vast majority of actors, well, of characters, are always played by white actors?
Okay, I think that was a few question in one, right?
Mhm.
Okay, the first question was
So the first question really is about why do you think what do you think about actors being classified by their
okay.
origin or
I'll
religion?
answer that one first. Let me answer
Mhm.
that one first. Okay, first of all, nobody should be recognized by the religion at all.
Mhm.
Bottom line, in the film industry, or if you're working anywhere, even if you're a waiter, if you're a waiter, when somebody come out, hey, come over here, Muslim guy, can you serve me? No, like, that doesn't work that way. I've seen some companies trying to do it this way for like Muslim or something like that. And as a Muslim person myself, I won't be belong to any of that because that is private. Like what I do inside my, for my belief is private, and it's mine. So I'll just keep that. And if somebody asks me what my religion is, I just won't answer. As bottom line, it's in the film industry. I just won't. You should know. You shouldn't even talk about it. I love God. That's bottom line. And then two, I think that's the only line that people should not cross because, as you mentioned, I played the Human Centipede. If I'm gonna think of it as a Muslim person going in, I would say no, 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 no. But as an artist, yes, yes, please, I want it. I love every second of it.
Mhm.
I think God made me to love, made me to fall in love, and to do things that I love, not to sit there and cry and just be miserable.
Mhm.
So what I say is, please, if you have a religion, it's yours. Keep it to yourself. Um, if you had your head covered, they might cast you. There might be a role for you. I don't know. I just said might. There might be a role for you. There might be a role for you. We don't know. We don't know. That person helped me open my company. I pitched him for every deal. He never get cast. He cast me in a lot of his feature film. I can never give him the. I haven't been able to cast him, so you never know.
Mhm.
So I think we keep religion away. And yes, if you are Lebanese American, be proud of it. If you are Sunni American, be proud of it. If you're Sunni Lebanese, be proud of it. Just tell us who you are, because that tells us stories and open doors for you. Trust me, it will open doors. Um, but religion thing is just kind of divisive
Mhm.
in the film industry. I just nobody needs to know. And in sexual orientation, I think it's very accepted, and we know it. I love supporting all people, but I think it's also your personality. Is keep it to yourself. I mean, you don't have to come up to me and tell me what you like. I don't care. I mean, I can see it if I have to. It's all up there. I support you. I love you. I'm here to cast you for a story. And I know you can play Christian, Jewish, and I know you can play Brutus, and I know you can play all that because you're an actor. You can tell me a story. But be proud where you're from, because you can never change that. Like, you just can't. You're not gonna be able to. I mean, whatever God made you, just be proud of it, and just keep things, like it doesn't have to be so, like, divisive. If you felt like a little divisive of making a little organization, it's a divisive. How can I include everybody? Arab American casting. What I love about it, it never said Arab casting. It said Arab American, so American people join, and they have all kind of people can join. Anybody who feel like want to join the website, they can log in and join for free. Doesn't matter who you are, what's your
Mhm.
religion, what's your background, what's your ethnicity, and you're gonna receive those emails from me. And majority of the time, I'm gonna say I'm looking for Arabic people, but
Right.
it is what it is.
True. I can say that is true because I do receive emails from Hamza almost every day. It's true. Um, but then there's something I don't really understand, and I'm not talking only about the American film industry. I'm talking about the industry worldwide because even here in Europe it happens. Um, our industry is based in telling stories, right? And these stories are portrayed by actors who portray they represent this character. And normally, these stories are, except for science fiction, obviously, are true stories based on stories, everyday stories, reality, things that happen. Because I'm sure that out of all the films that have been filmed, someone can see themselves in that character, in that story.
Absolutely.
So, living in a world, a global, international world as we live now, that in every country there is about every nationality. We're not talking about religions, every nationality. Why every nationality, every ethnicity, religions, whatever you want? Why are most of the characters in most of the films always portrayed by white people, white actors? Why?
You know what's so funny about that? I know some Arab Egyptian actor who's actually good, great actor because I got to audition him. I would have said no. I would have said he sucks because of his personality type, you know. But when I auditioned him, it was my director for the last feature film we had, blow my mind. Like I'm like, wow, no wonder you're a. I don't want to say exactly what he does, but he was really good. And he probably the best audition I saw. And because he's also like very powerful person in a way in his personal
Mhm.
life. Then like to see him sitting on the floor and playing a sheikh and like so focused, we were just like, what the hell just happened here? That guy actually booked a role, and then let me just, I'm gonna go off the line a little bit. He booked a role, and then he called me. He said, "I'm going to Dubai for a little bit, but I'll be back. Just tell the director I'll be back." And then just give me his number. The director told me to fire him. We don't have no time because he go to reply. I don't know if he's gonna come back. So he played. He went to Egypt, and he sadly played a white guy. I say sadly because it was really horrible. Cause the role I can see it online. They fix his hair, they make it blonde, they put his, like something in his eyes. They did both are like So it's an Egyptian film about like I don't want to say exactly what it's about. I don't want to get like I'm not harassing people, but I look at it. I'm like this guy. I mean, he's an Arab man. 6 feet tall Arab man with full like hair. With beard and everything. You know, um, but every day he has to go through that makeup, and he does it on his phone, and he posts it on Instagram, and then we're just like, very nasty, and it was. um, so that is why I think the perspective of people, our people everywhere else in the world, is what they want to see. That's what they want to see. They want to see me as a bodyguard. You know, I think I can do great superhero. I think so. I always believe that. I wear like a Superman. I believed it for 3 days. I'm like, I'm a Superman. I actually believed it. Like I look like a good Superman. Like a
Mhm.
little chubby Superman, Middle Eastern, like a perfect Superman. Um,
Why not?
why not? It's perfect, funny Superman from Middle East. Like why not?
Mhm.
People will watch it.
Oh yeah, I mean, they might not watch it till the end, but they will start.
It's funny. We'll watch it.
No,
We'll
no,
watch it.
that's true. It's true, but it's just that it's something that, for instance, like you say, well, when you got to the States, your name Hamza, obviously,
Yeah,
your skin color, etc. I mean, I can understand that, but for instance, I had issues at the beginning when I moved to Spain, although I am of Spanish origin,
yeah,
also, because no one thought that I was not 100% Spanish. And obviously, my name is Arabic. I mean, it's Persian, and I have a Turkish last name. And obviously, it was a bit weird of saying, "Well, yeah, but you're Spanish, aren't you?" I say, "Well, I'm not 100% Spanish. I'm multicultural."
Mm.
And I don't know which is worse, because at least you already know. If you look Arab,
Yeah.
you already know. I mean, this is going to happen. I mean, it's going to be in your face. You already know it. But the
Yeah.
worst is when you're not expecting. They don't expect you to be of Arab origins or North African origins, and they say, "Oh, well." I mean, this happened to me. I was about 18 years old, and I went to an American company because there was a vacancy. They were looking for a multilingual secretary, and when I gave them my documents, which they were Moroccan documents, they threw them on the table and told me that there were no jobs for Moroccans. And I was really shocked, because at the end, the guy, he was so happy because I spoke perfect Spanish and I spoke perfect English with no accent, and it was so great. And when can you start? And I thought, oh my God, this is going to get really, really bad now. And I said, well, whenever you want. And when I gave him my documents, he just threw it on the table and said, sorry, there's no, it wasn't, I have to say that the HR manager was Spanish, was not American, but it was for an American company. So I just learned to live with it. And I know that many people don't see me as a Spanish person when I speak English, or when I speak French, they think I'm French, or when I speak Italian, they think I'm Italian. But what they don't know is that I am from North African origins.
Yeah.
And I once, just, a quick little thing. I was looking for a manager here in Spain, and, well, an agent, because we don't have managers in Spain. We only have agents. And there's this agent who has quite a bit of Arab, Spanish, MENA actors in her hands, and she told me that she was only interested in me to represent me for as an Arab actress. And I said, well, I am fluent in 4 other languages. And she said, yes, but no, I just want you to portray Arab roles. And I said, no, I speak 5 languages. I am never going to be portraying just one role in one language. Either you take me for everything, or you just don't take me. And it's just like I just finished shooting a series, a quite important series here in Spain, where I portray an Arab, a Moroccan grandmother. And I already told my agent, and she agreed with me, that as the maximum, I will be doing 1 Moroccan, 1 Arab role per year, not more. Because I have other languages, and I can do any other nationality. So why just act as a Moroccan lady because my origins are North African? No, I'm an actress.
Yeah.
So that's really the point. And it's like when I see this, not only for Manassas in the United States, but also, for instance, there are platforms for and websites for created for Black American actors, and in the UK there's MENA UK, and here in Spain we have the Blacklist, which is also a platform for Black actors in Spain, whether they are African or whether they are American or whether they are South Americans. And I always thought, there's no platforms for white actors. I mean, what do you think, or how do you think, in a group, right? We're talking about actors. We're not talking about colors, and we're not talking about, origins. What do you think we could all do, right, to bring equity in this? So we could all be equal, because obviously I understand that if you are casting for a film, and one of the characters is an Arab actor or an Arab actress, obviously you're not going to take a Mexican to do an Arab actor. You're going to take an Arab actor. It's just like if you're casting for a Mexican character, you can look for a Mexican actress or actor. But if what you are casting is a doctor, a judge from any country. You don't. I mean, you're casting the character, not where the character comes from,
Yeah.
because that's not the important part of the character. The character is a judge, or as a cop, or as a teacher, or whatever. Well, why? That's my problem. I would say, okay, I don't want to exaggerate. I don't want to create enemies here, but let's say 70% are casted by white actors.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the thing called Hollywood, if you're working for Bollywood, then they're gonna be casting, Indian
India.
actors. Yeah.
Yes.
So the idea is embedded in our brain that it's called Hollywood. So when we think about Hollywood, right away we think about Western world that is, white, most of the Caucasian actors from thousands of years that have been acting, right?
Mhm.
So we're always like when you're Asian, what she was doing, she was trying to cater for Hollywood. She wasn't catering for Bollywood. We
Yeah.
don't have we don't have Arabic word. We don't have Mensa word. We don't have that.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that our mentality when we make a movie doesn't matter who making the movie, who's writing it. They right away writing it for the big daddy,
Okay.
Hollywood.
Mhm.
And then even like the last movies we did, and like you packed it up. You want it to be good for Hollywood, like and then without even knowing, just unconsciously. It's like, and then they do it for like the studios, and then for example, now every time I do casting, every feature film the past 10 years, I tell them, so SAG after they have diversity incentives program is blow your mind. Like, you should look it up. It will
Mhm.
blow your mind how great that is. Most people don't use it. Most casting directors don't recommend it. Like you have a movie of $200,000, you can turn it to 2 million in 2 seconds. For example, I'm just exaggerating here, just an example,
Mhm.
because you put me and an African American guy in there and an Asian guy in there as what, just whatever. But I think the incentive program should be more like, hey, if you cast a lead role, the second lead role, and that was and a colored person, and specifically colored person, because yeah, I have to say, like there's many people in America that are suffering, from African American to LGBTQ to Asian community to a lot of people,
Yeah.
Latin community. They've lost their kid on a boulder for nothing. So, but I'm here representing Middle Eastern people and Mensa people. We don't see shit for us here. Nothing. Zero. Mensa was canceled by CSA, and I'm a CSA. It was just canceled. The direct book removed out of the website. Why? Because there's nobody really willing. I'm willing. I'm willing, but I'm not willing to work for free either. I got kid to feed. Got a big house, a really big house. We're constantly working. So my cat got lost. It's $900 just for one surgery. So we always constantly working. We need work, but at the same time, it's we're catering for Hollywood, the big daddy, the big whatever you want to call it, the big actors, like whatever the big famous actor back in the days, all of them were, even the Middle East, the actors,
But
the
but
big.
don't you think that things can be changing a little bit
It's a
with
mentality.
with all these independent films?
Yeah, the thing, even the independent films, like they do. Like we did an independent film that I really loved called my Stretch of Texas Ground, and then
Mhm.
like the lead actor is Arabic, and the other lead actor is American. In the film, when I read the script, my lead actor, my guy, was a
Mhm.
freaking terrorist. Like he was a murderer. And then I'm like, okay, listen, I'm okay for you to do that, but there's a little trouble, and it's true story. But I didn't want to say much. I don't want to open my mouth too much. I still need to get that feature film. So I'm like, but I don't want to be completely a sellout either.
Yeah.
So what I did, I got my friend Anwar, who's very popular director for Arab American issues that you should meet.
Mhm.
He's a very good guy, and my friend Joey Nabel, and the director and his wife. We went to we got a place called Carnival, and like down here, Lebanese restaurant, like the Lebanese food, like really nice
Mhm.
food. We sat there, we ate, and we talked. And the director called me 2 months later. I just paid for that lunch. 2 months later, I thought we lost the deal, because I had a really impressive like meeting, and the meeting was like going down the culture, like breaking down everything. The director was a white man who was married to an African American woman, and they have 2 kids, and
Hmm.
and then he called me 2 months later. He said, "Listen, I'm thinking about canceling this movie because I don't want somebody to go out there watch my movie and go kill one of you guys, you know." Because he's supposed to kill a white in the film, my guy, he's supposed to kill a senator, kidnap
Hmm.
them, torture him, and the other guy, the white guy in the film, the hero that looks like a freaking hero, he's gonna come in and save the world, And then I'm like, I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I need one more feature film that would really nail the coffin for my CSA, you know, and I'm like, so I'm like, just so. And then he left, and then I said, so we can work something out. How about this? Because I don't want to lose the point. How about if we let him kill the guy in the end, but make us feel sad, make us feel that each one of us as a
Yeah, you
character,
regret it.
we
Hmm.
want to kill that freaking senator. We want every one of the characters, even doesn't matter, even if they were white, anybody that watching
Hmm.
this want to kill that motherfucking senator. Find something out of him that why we killed him. Like maybe he's a really nasty human being, and
Hmm.
then make my actor die slow. Make us, because in the end he dies, right? But make us feel him. He's very handsome, very sweet guy. Yunus, I love him. But and then just give them more of uh, I want to be the fucking terrorist. Everybody wants to watch this movie. They want to be him. Doesn't matter what he did. But he's not really a terrorist. He was a soldier. So they changed it up. He was a soldier, American soldier, Arab American. And then he became an assassin, and he wasn't. It was so beautifully done. It changed. There was no terrorism anymore. There was more assassin. There's more like mental problem.
Yeah.
Because I know if the other guy killed the other guy, it's mental. But we all know, like, whenever
That's
change
the
happen in a
problem.
movie,
But like you
whenever
say, yeah, that's the problem.
yeah,
And this is where I don't agree is that if any other, I mean, a French guy, a Spanish guy, or lady, Portuguese, Italian, Danish, whatever you want, if they kill a senator or they just kill someone, right? They are assassins.
yeah,
But if it's an Arab, he's a terrorist.
yeah,
Why? Why?
yeah, absolutely. It's because because of the most famous things. It's pretty famous. 9/11 is very very famous. Um, even before 9/11, there were a couple of incidents that were famous. So it's just now that we 10, 20 years later growing on at that ideas, but we have time to change it. I mean, I don't shave my beard now as a casting director. I don't. I mean, I had it really big as an actor, but as a casting director, I don't. I just feel like this is how Arab I can look. I just need to, everybody need to kind of like find something beautiful. One thing I'm very disappointed about a lot of film movie stars that there's Arab movie star that just came in the past 2 years. They're worthless for us. I'm gonna name one right now. DJ Khaled, completely worthless for Arab people, completely. And I know him personally. I don't know him personally, but I know him. But and I know why I say that. And I love him to death. He's a great dad, a great person. But he's nothing to do with us. Like nothing. Like, do you have a song for your country? I mean, look, Fairuz. There's 6 of them or 7 of them. Come on, you have no idea, TJ Khaled, what you're missing out. You're missing out that you think America is your country, which it is. You are Arab American. You're Arab first. Your music came because your dad played those Arabic music in your ear every day, um, and your country needs you. Just bottom line, go stand for them. Go hold the
Mhm.
fucking rock and throw it back to the other people. Because the other thing is that I'm not trying to divide people here, but you're Arab American and you have a deal. You have like a platform, use it. I mean, we need you. There's people in high school that are getting like, beat up because they're Arab American, or girls and who are wearing hijab being taken out, or like, Sikh people being mistaken by Arab American, or just Arab American being called Muslim and they're not, you know. Uh, and just Arab American in general, they're racist to each other's and they dismissive to each other's and they're not helping
Mhm.
each other's. So all these things that it comes from the top. Like let's say if TJ Khaled, for example, I'm nothing against him, I'm just giving an example. If he was like make a rap about those two countries, the Israel and Palestine, and like just make a beautiful rap about it and have people think behind them. There's you're gonna make money if you're looking for it, but it's
Yeah.
more than money. It will be more than money. And
Mhm.
people like, for example, like people like Rami and the other Rami, they need to be more outspoken. I know they're in my industry. I might be losing a deal with them, but they need to be more outspoken. And you can't just do it with your show. You gotta be really go outspoken. If you see somebody, if you look at the news and see some Arab American girl being up and taking hijab down from her or something like that, this is not about politics. This is about like, you Arab American, you make a Ramadan show. You gotta come up there and say, we're different. You gotta be more involved. And by the way, I want to put out shot for St. Jude Hospital. St. Jude Hospital was founded by Lebanese American. Uh, and then a lot of Lebanese people, a lot of Arab American people actually pay a lot of money every month to support the hospital for years. And but the people that represent the hospital, the faces, are not Arab American. They want them to be. They want the big stars. And I approach few stars. Listen, like I tell them, George Clooney like does commercial for them for free. You should do it, and we can make George Clooney look good. Actually, we're talking about him right now. So you should do it. Ignore me. Ignore. Like, what is it about? Like, let's just go there and like they're just gonna make a commercial with you. Post something on your 100,000 people Instagram page about them. No, no, it's just that you have to find where is Arab American at, like we at, like if it's James Wood Hospital, don't go open another James Wood Hospital, or like some kind of like funding, and just I don't know where it's gonna go. Give that funding to James Wood Hospital and say it's coming from Arab American, and then if you're famous like Rami Youssef, for example, you should be probably representing a James Wood Hospital.
Mhm.
And if you're Rami Malek, you should definitely be on that. At least one. You know how many kids you'll be saving live, and how many people will be like donating because they saw you there. So it's that what do you call this? The industry itself, right?
Mhm.
The industry that we do here is an open field. When I found it, ArabAmericanCasting.com was available. MiddleEasternActors.com was just given to me by my Joey neighbor, but a lot of those .com domain names that would blow your mind were just like for $12, no problem. I was gonna buy a few domains. I just like whatever. I'll buy them later, but now somebody else bought them. But it's just that they were it open field. Nobody wants to do anything with it. And now, since a little bit more cooking, I think that field is big and fat, and the people have those kind of platform instead of like, um, if you're a famous Arab American, you should know that there is so many um, spaces for you in this field that you can fill. Like they're waiting for you. So instead of following a Caucasian or American or whatever African American stars behind and just kind of following them and just doing their own, being the bluffer straight up, you can just know that there's a platform for you. There's a platform that's waiting for you, and people who are young who want to be inspired by you.
True. I can agree with you up to a certain point. The thing is that if we want equity to exist between all actors, we all have to pitch in. Being Arab actors, being European actors, being African actors, Indian actors, American Indian actors. We are what we are is just actors. This is what is supposed to be standing out. Actors. Doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah,
Actors.
absolutely.
Because, for instance, Rami Malek, He's from Arab origins,
Yeah.
and he's not doing Arab characters. He's
Yeah.
doing normal characters. I mean,
Uh,
normal. What I say, what I
well,
when
he was doing Arab character in the beginning. In the beginning, you know.
the beginning, but it's not that he. It's not that he dedicated his
Yeah.
the beginning of his career just to Arab characters. He
Yeah.
would try to do others also.
Yeah.
It is true that there are actors and actresses, because I have seen them, that they are just comfortable being Arab characters.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't move forward if you are not willing to do so also, because I am of Arab, well, I am not from Arab origins. I am from North African origins, but I can portray a judge. I can be a senator. I can be a president. I can be a mother, a grandmother. I can be a queer. I can be anything. So my origins have nothing to do with my job as an actress.
Yeah.
And I think that that is the most important thing that we have to put up front. First things first, you are an actor. What you have in your blood, in your soul, in your mind, that comes second. You are an actor. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. Because
Yeah.
you're not hired, you're not casted, because you are firstly casted because you're an actor. Because otherwise, then what? We would just be doing street casting and taking your neighbor who lives in the fifth floor. And I mean, he would be good, right? I mean, if you're looking for an Arab character and you have your neighbor who's in the fifth floor, he's Arab. Well, why don't you take him? Because what you need is an actor.
Yeah.
And then if the actor is an Arab actor, but mostly because the character needs to be Arab, because he has to know how to speak Arabic, etc., etc., etc. The other day, I was watching Syriana, and I was just amazed to hear how George Clooney was speaking Arabic. So if he can learn his lines in Arabic, why can't you be the oh my God, the wow doctor in this hospital who really has invented or has discovered this way of making, I don't know, old people look younger, whatever. You're a doctor.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't care if you are Lebanese, you are
it's
a doctor.
interesting what you say. It's also like it's also. I mean, it's come down from writing too. Like the writers come down from the writers. I mean, I'm not blaming them, but we definitely have to like when you're writing, you just definitely because we're casting people. For example, when I do casting, I've done it many times. I
Hmm.
bring people all ethnic to one club, to one actor, to one bro to
Hmm.
play the mob boss. We brought
Hmm.
so many different guys, some different ethnic, young, older, because the director didn't know what he want, you know. And I'm like, what kind of director is that? He's a TV director. That's what they do, I guess.
Hmm.
No, you know. So there's different people, and then eventually he started finding the role to other people, and then he saw one guy walked in like, oh, I know you, and then he cast him. So and so that it works from there. But I think it's just that you know, look at it this way. I mean, it's just like for Rami Malek, he's in 007 and he almost turned down the role because they made him into a terrorist. Like no, they just make me into a bad guy. That's why I came here for.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah.
raised my hand. I'm like, I'll do it.
Well, yeah.
Went
I mean,
back in my head.
no, I can understand both sides, right?
Yeah,
I can understand the Arab actor who doesn't, or the Arab actress who doesn't mind being a terrorist all their lives.
yeah.
It's their
No, I
choice,
think
right?
I don't know anybody, to be honest with you, that like it. You know, I haven't played a terrorist in any of my movies. You think I did, but I kind of don't. I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm just a guy. Like it happened to be there. My last feature film was on Netflix, like number one on Netflix for a while. Rose Wild Game. I can't even say it right. Anyway, but I was a leader of the town.
Hmm.
But people who's watching it, they probably think is the terrorist guy is talking.
Yeah.
No, I'm a leader of the town. I'm telling the
Yeah.
people to save their children in Arabic. Take your children and put them over there because the terrorists are coming.
Hmm.
So and in the human centipede, I wasn't a terrorist. Human Centipede, he came up to me and he said, "What? Who are you? Like, who's your character?" The director. And I told him, because he said you have to create your own character. Like the. So I told him I'm a U.S. engineer, straight up. I was born in America, but then I went to the jail because I did some kind of like mistake, like hit and run, and I kept going, and I
Mhm.
went to jail for it. Whilst I was jail, I got in a fight because somebody called me a terrorist, and the other guy fought me, and then I started learning Quran, and then I hated America after that, and I started just basically I hate America now as an actor,
Yeah.
and in the film. And then the only reason I hate it because they put me in jail, and then now I became Muslim in that. So I started working the character that way. So it's never been. However, if somebody told me, "Hey, Hamza, I have a feature role for you to play a terrorist," I'll play it because I will bring. It's a human being. He was a human being, and I'm sure he was
Mhm.
a father, and I'm sure somebody read make a feature film to make a lead actor as a terrorist because
Mhm.
they're trying to bring as a human, and they're trying to figure it out what's going on. Because also, don't forget, American Psycho is a terrorist. He
Mhm.
was a terrorist. He's killing people every day. I think a good movie can come out of that. And then you can just kind of change the narrative a little bit. Oh, they're
Mhm.
human beings. Stop making fun of them. And of course, if they're terrorists, kill them. In the war, you kill all the terrorists. They deserve to go to hell. But in
Mhm.
in the film, I would love to tell people story. I would love to get in deep and get in there and have kids in the movie and go out there and show people why people are doing it and why shouldn't. And then I think in Suryana they did a great job
Yeah.
how they show they take the kid and they take him in, and that's exactly what they do. I watched it with my wife. My wife is Greek, and I'm like, it's exactly what they do. It's all mental. So we have to kind of like also what I love about online and the online stuff, and I think any hopefully everybody everywhere around the country they have like all around the world they have some kind of tablet and Netflix and something to show them that the world out there. You can learn. I've learned so much stuff on YouTube than I learned in college. I learned all my photography skills from YouTube. That like just it. So there's just so much going on now, but we need to come together in a way. I mean, like, look, Aladdin, I've heard, and I worked on it. Most of the money comes from the Arab world, and they have some kind of like ideas, like, hey, make sure you cast an Arab actor, and they did, but it should be more than that. I mean, they did it, they shot in Arab world, but it should be more than that.
Yeah.
It should be like a trail of that. Okay, you did Aladdin, now you now you do this one, and you do this one, now you do. One of the greatest Arab American movie I ever seen. It was uh, Lawrence of Arabia. I wish they make movies like that. Like it was just pure beauty of Arab world, and
Yeah.
Arab world is so beautiful, and that is the beauty of Arab world. And now, unfortunately, you know, you have an Arabic movie. You see it like Syriana, it's like a whole, and then Taha, Fauda, for example, right? I do a lot of voiceover on Fauda, and I do casting on Fauda sometimes. One of my friends, she came up to me. I literally just kind of didn't even read it or like misread the Fauda to something different. She's Palestinian. She's like, Hamza, his name Fauda. I'm like, Fauda? Like Fauda Fauda? I thought like her name was Fauda. Hold on. Fauda. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me a second.
Take your time.
Oh, sorry.
No way. Take your time.
It went in the
Taha.
wrong plate. Wow.
Yes,
No, no,
you.
I do hear you. But that's the point. Or like you said, we do have to stand up because what it's not possible is that Arab actors they only portray characters such as terrorists, the immigrant shop, etc., etc. It's just like when we go talking about South American actors, especially actresses. Well, actors are they are drug dealers, and the actresses they usually are maids. And when we're talking about actresses of the Eastern countries, they are all prostitutes. So it's all these, and all Russians are from the KGB. It's such a weird thing that okay, this had this. It does exist. It did exist and it
Yeah,
had its time, but it's about time that we change this. And I find that it's only all of us that we make it change. Just like Rami Malek said, no, I am not going to portray a terrorist. Give me a bad guy, but not a terrorist.
yeah, not a terrorist. Yeah, when
Yeah,
you have the decision, that's what you need to start speaking. Like, hey, what's a
yeah,
terrorist gonna do for me? A bad guy will give me more deeper into my thing. And then probably he would have done a terrorist if was it 20, 30 years ago because it wasn't a terrorist thing. It was just a bad
yeah.
guy with Arabic.
There you go. A bad guy with Arabic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Let me to ask you a question. Do you only cast Arab American actors, or you also cast non-Arabs?
I cast everybody. I think most of my, like the magnet to my company is Arab American casting and a Middle Eastern actor Mensa. That
Mm-hmm.
way, a lot that's just the magnet, and I've cast anything. I actually can do better. It's more it's not better, but it's just more work when you
Mm-hmm.
cast regular people because you have more options,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have more website to put it up. So it's not better, but it's just more work, and in a way it's easier because you're gonna find somebody. In the Arab casting, it's a surgery,
Mm-hmm.
because you wrote that something and you want it to make sure you write stuff. So, we
Mm-hmm.
put it out there, whatever. I usually recommend people right away, and I know who they're really good. I always
Mm-hmm.
worked out perfect. I don't know why, it just did.
Mm-hmm.
But we always do the auditions and whatever, and then go through it, and then it's a lot less people they come
Mm-hmm.
through than when I did Aladdin. The other people were getting like thousands of auditions. I was getting like a maximum of 100 people because I
Yeah.
just went through to them, knock on their door, and asked them to audition for me, and they were all through Urban American Casting or through the people that I know. Or when I audition, somebody asked, "Do you know somebody better than you?" Somebody it's always
Better
you have
than
the
you.
other. Yeah, it just yeah, it's all word of mouth. My whole company, like most people that join, like there's like telling each other to join the website. It's free, whatever. But no, I cast a lot of other people. I have a feature film right now. It was a scary film that we're doing, and all I try so hard to because the director is Egyptian. And I try so hard. He knows, like he's actually his name is Miko Sad. He probably will be watching this, but he's like he's very supportive of Arab American. Like Arab American casting. Like some people are more supportive than me to Arab
Mm-hmm.
American. It makes sense. Like they come to me like they understand it more than I do, and they're like, "Whoa, I didn't know. I didn't know it was that great or that important to you. But I know it is.
Yeah, but would you say that you only get castings that imply Arab actors, or you just get you go you are I mean, okay, let me say it this right. You get all you get castings for other films where maybe there's no need to be implicit in being Arab. You could just be an American actor, although you are of Arab origins.
As a casting director,
Yeah.
yeah, as a casting director, when people knock on my door, like most of the time, they come in because of I have the Middle Eastern actors, Mansa actors, and Arab American casting. So
Okay.
most of the time, they know I'm Arab. The Arabic, so if they're Arabic, any Arabic issues or like that, so they start coming to me, and that's my idea was the whole time.
Okay.
Voiceover, stuff like that, all Arabic accent. I've done some stuff, and I usually refer a lot of people too. Like I don't do cultural advising, but I mean I can,
Hmm.
but I don't lie to myself. I mean I came to this country when I was 16. There's some people who are really good, so I send those people. I always try to like give out stuff, out. The more job goes out, the don't come to me.
Hmm.
Now that I'm CSA, a lot of CSA casting director are posting on my website, which is I think is cool. Like so they post it for free. They can get that. And then I
Hmm.
hope sometime I work as assistant on other stuff too. But I
Yeah.
would say 80% of my job because of Arab American casting. I it's
Mhm.
sometimes I don't even have to go look. Just the word is there.
Yeah.
And then because people like me, they give me other jobs. Like I got because the guy liked me, give me a feature film that has nothing to do with Arabic. It happened to me twice. And then now that I'm CSA, hopefully I'll be doing more. I just got in a month ago.
Yeah.
and I'm still kind of like going. I have a mission for it. I really want to get the Arab and Middle Eastern actors in Mensa. Like kind of like cooking on CSA, and I know CSA would love it. But just kind of baby step. By the way, I'm on Clubhouse every day, every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we do have Arabian Night, which is really fun, hosted by casting director clubs, and which
Mm-hmm.
is basically actors, filmmaker come in and just talk. We do it like twice a week, but we also do every day. We do business side of acting at 5 o'clock California time, PTT. So that is really cool. It has like 200 people sometimes just showing up every day on it, and yeah, I'm trying to learn more. My goal is to within 2 years to start doing like online and in person workshop for the Arab and Middle Eastern actors.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do it now. Like I can do some stuff, but I want to learn. I wanna also get team up with bigger casting director, and it's gonna like do like an Arab tour to teach people
Mm-hmm.
about acting and casting in the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do know that I am very interested in in entering the clubhouse which I joined. It's just that the problem is the time difference. When you guys are there talking, I mean, it's my bedtime, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's
absolutely. Yeah,
quite difficult just to join a conversation.
yeah.
But I have joined one or two, and I do find them very, very interesting because not only Arab actors are there, but just a whole bunch of people, and I just find it so cool to
Yeah,
listen to others' thoughts and
inclusive. You have to include people. If you're not including people, then you're not anywhere near.
that's
Um,
my point.
uh,
That's my point.
you're not even included yourself. So
Hmm.
we don't want those kind of people. I mean, their clubhouse is such a like a good experience so far
Hmm.
because people come together in a stronger way. Like you can see people right there. But I love Clubhouse because I got to have conversations with different ethnic,
Hmm.
straightforward, and they got to know me as an Arab American casting. They got to know how what the true mission was. It wasn't about like us. It's about us.
Yeah.
It
There
wasn't
you
like
go.
come here. It's about hey, come here,
Yeah.
and it's and it's funny. I got like called out in the beginning from Arab people and some other people. Hey, we see African American on your website. I'm like, well, they are Arabic. What do you want me to do? They're Arabic.
Yeah.
Literally, like, hey, what, it's an Arabic website? Yeah, they're Arabic, you idiot. Arabic people are all over the world, and they could be darker, they could be lighter, they could be anything. They could be my aunt is completely dark. My other aunt has blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Then they both came out from the same mom and dad. So, and the other side of my family is there like that too. So Arabic people are like that. Like in Lebanon is like this. In America, it's weird. Like everybody's kind of like cut up by colors and then you want to add religion to it. I know whoever does it online. Somebody was trying to do that online for us. I would freak out. I was freaking out. I'm like, don't even come to me. There's nothing freaks me out in the world now than this, because my idea, Arab American casting, is about including people. Is about casting us. We can't cast us. We can't. We have to recast us all together, come
Mhm.
together, and then like showing up, showing a lot of African American people in my company. I said that before. A lot of Asian people, a lot of Hispanic people. A lot of them become my friend, and they see how I represent my people. And
Mhm.
sadly, a lot of my people don't see it, or maybe Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they hiding it from them. But
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of support from Arab American or Arab people in particular. I see a lot of dismissive, a lot of like, I got the job. I got reviews online, right? And actors don't pay me. Some actors, some people ask me how actor pays me. Like, how do they pay me, right? I don't get any money. You see how I treat my actors, right? Pictures and all
Mhm.
this beauty stuff, right? Anything I can do. Um, But you can just tell people how my experience was with me. They can go online and leave a freaking review. Some actor asked them twice. You've been on my set a few times. Let's just forget it. I'm not gonna ask you. You know what I mean? Literally, you're just gonna give me something. Like, give me a like, dude. Just give me a like. Give me a follow back. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard. I've got some follow back when I changed my name to CSA. I wasn't very happy about that. I'm like, whoa. I've been following you for the whole time. I just got you. Just did you just follow me?
Yeah, but I think that just has to do with the people. It has nothing to do with their origins or anything. I mean, it happened to me also. I was following this actor, this Spanish actor, for a year, and when I booked a good job, that's when he started following me, and I thought it was so ridiculous. It's, I don't know. It's just that's the ego part. The bad part of the industry is the ego. um, do you you have worked quite a bit since you first started until today, such as an actor or and as a casting director. Do you consider that this industry has been kind to you?
Hmm. I saw that question. I mean, it's you pay your dues in this industry. I mean, it's hard. Like, the industry hasn't been kind to me. Hmm. Um. Yeah. I mean, I was honored with CSA. I
Mhm.
felt like they're gonna say no, because in the beginning I said my name was the problem. That's why I love Obama. He's like, oh, can't get worse than that.
I was thinking of him really now when you said my name was,
Yeah,
well, I
no,
mean,
no. When he came
Obama,
became
really.
president, I'm like, when
He
they ever
became
say
president,
Barack
so it's
Hussein
not that
Obama, I'm
bad.
like, my name is just Hamza. Give me a break.
Yeah, so it's not
Not a
that
big deal. I met him right in the middle.
bad. Yeah, it's not that.
So yeah, so it's but it's still, yeah, of course. I mean, most people here in America will tell you that, yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's the question again? Sorry, can I fly off my
Do
question?
you think the industry has been kind to
Yeah,
you?
yeah. It's all mindset in a way. The mindset, it wasn't there, in the
Hmm.
beginning. Because of that, I think the mindset is working out right now for me better. Um, because the industry needs me. That's how I
Hmm.
mean. I mean, it doesn't matter how ego the sound. They don't need my acting, but they need my people. That's why they need me. Like, when I work on Aladdin, when I work on a lot of stuff, Argo, and Argo came in the end, too. Like, a few months down the line after the rap, they called me, and I was an actor on it, you know. So, so you look at it, the when Rami, I worked on Rami too, in the beginning. I mean, I lost the deal horribly because I messed up really bad on social media posts, but I learned not to post any next time. But I messed up on that one, and I learned. But they kept calling me. They kept using my service. All of
Hmm.
them, all the casting director. So I'm thinking, like, all you need to do for me is just have a good mindset about it, the whole thing, and it works out. I know it sounds like horrible. What are you talking about? But I did have a bad mindset before. I did
Hmm.
have, like, I'm being screwed in every direction. Um, and it just, pandemic was kind of weird in a way, and I lost family members, unfortunately. But it was kind of good in a way for a lot of people, because they got to be in that little. I mean, I worked every day, outside the house, because I couldn't be here with my kids and my family. I like to leave and work out there. But I learned a lot, but, like, like, it just to shut up, to shut up and just see where it goes, and then to do my part, because sometimes, um, like, oh yeah, I'm a CSA, I'm SAG after, I did all this. Come and get me. That's all that stuff is just baby stuff. Like, it doesn't really mean anything anymore. Like, if today it doesn't, like, if you're not really signing a contract and getting people to set, or you're not working, like, not doing, like, the 5 things a day to start your business or your acting career, it just doesn't mean anything. So I feel like people that I've seen, I'm gonna give a shout out to my friend Sal, Sal from XO record.
Hmm.
He's Lebanese American, and he grew up without a father like myself. So he had a picture of himself when he was like 25, and he's not even 40. when he was leaving the apartment. He's getting kicked out of the apartment naked with his
Wow.
underwear, you know. And he posted, he removed it, but he posted on social media, and I'm like, boom, this guy has his own airplanes right now. I mean, he has money like it fall off the skies. Thanks God, God bless him. But it all in he's music industry and he's Lebanese
Mhm.
American. I think he's also Canadian. The industry was very kind to him because he did all the work. Like he did all the work. He give back to the industry. He give great
Mhm.
art to the industry, but at the same time, he's constantly working. Like, how could you keep artists like that, like under your
Yeah.
belt? Because he's a manager. Uh, so the industry was really kind to him. That shows me that I can get there too. It just need
Mhm.
that. We just need to. It's just a filmmaking thing is a little bit tricky,
Mhm.
but I mean, I was very close with Rami. I could have been one of the biggest casting director on it and or producer. It wasn't meant to be, but he did recommended me. He did his thing. He did Hamza. They called me and said, "Hey, Rami recommended you for this." I messed it up. I understand, but and I think now that I'm a CSA, if they recommend me again, I will cook it right away. It was done. Just call in and done.
Well, I'm sure that you are doing well and the right thing, and you must have been doing it well, that now you are CSA. So that says a lot about you and how serious you are and fond of what you do in your job. Um, do you think that auditions are really necessary for professional actors, or do you consider that their reels and IMDb are enough?
So IMDb is very important. Now that I'm a CSA, I can get it for free. It's like part of the thing. I pay like 150 a year for nothing, just for Jeff Bezos. He owns it now. You know that, like the
Yeah,
business. Like you own IMDb, you asshole. Come
yeah.
on, just give us a break. Leave us alone. But he owns it. I actually feel good that he owns it because now maybe like he can take us to the moon with him. But 150 for nothing. Imagine for nothing. You get nothing out of it. Nothing. But is a platform just like Clubhouse. You
Hmm.
open it, there's nothing. There's nothing. Till the moment you start doing your setting and you start following people. With IMDb, if you don't have it, you don't exist. Now, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit if somebody said, "Oh, Hamza said that." If you don't have it, you don't exist, and I probably won't work with you. you know, and just because of I got people right now on my email and then been followed back by text. Can you please check this? Check this. Well, if I work with you, I'm sure your film is great, but it's gonna screw up my actors. You know,
Hmm.
so because of the things that people won't help, like if you do a movie, you won't help my actor kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, so IMDb is very important. You can get it for 14 days for free. You can upload all your information. You can upload all your pictures, your videos. But after 14 days for free, your picture won't show up. But your videos, a million video you upload, 100,000 million, whatever you want to upload, they'll still be there. You can
Hmm.
tag your videos with the movies that you were in, the actors that in the videos, and that will make your IMDb more cooking. You have a two different kind of resume, one that you write on the side and it shows up slightly, and you gotta fill out your IMDb. If you were not in a movie, you have no IMDb, just create the film, dude. Just get on there. Like it doesn't matter. Just get on there, so your name is on there. Your whole name is there, and then audition online. I mean, um, the demo reel. Demo reels, not more than 2 minutes, and have all your demo reels on IMDb. So you'll have the long one that no one will be watching, but then you have the short. It's a short demo reel, main, original, whatever, and that's the one you want people to watch. And that's just gonna sell the idea that I should come to you because you know what you're doing. You're gonna go on set. You can actually show up on set. Like this one thing when I hire people, I just want to make sure they show up on set. And the only way I can make sure they show up on set if they are actors. Actors do show up. But
Hmm.
wanna be trying it out and my friend they won't show up. But the most important thing now is to get your audition. Some people like, oh, I don't audition for short films. Those people have learned the hard way. They haven't got booked. Um, like the conversation me and you together right here on this tablet, it's a lot better than it was on uh, WhatsApp, or email, right?
Mhm.
So that's the audition part. Like we need to buy the human now. We bought the actor. We know he can do it, but let's see if we can buy the human. One, how you turn out. Like how do you turn out? Like I give you an audition a week ago. Did you email me 6 times and ask me who's in it and who's that, and your feet are getting cold and back and forth? Because that all stuff, even though I'm a casting director, my
Mhm.
job is to make sure my director don't die and with a heart attack. I don't care about you actors. Trust me, I care about my director. I'm there to make sure I'm his bluffer.
Mhm.
If you want to make it a better way, I want to make sure my director is happy. But I also want to make sure my actor work with me next time
True.
with the audition. So when I send them the audition, they constantly doing it for me because they do a
Mhm.
free audition. I don't pay them. So sometimes they audition for nothing. I mean, a lot of them, the audition was crazy. They have to sing. They really have to sing. And I send it back to them before I don't like it. Do it again. I'm not gonna send it this way. I'm not gonna put my name on it. So
Mhm.
it's um the audition is very important online if it's online. And if it's live, I mean that's callback. But if it's online, you can do it online. You can take a whole day and you can eat a big breakfast in the morning and just get your back and your brain come together to really eat big breakfast, drink a lot of water, get your stuff together, but your lighting. But like
Mhm.
right now I can do an audition here if I have to, because nobody in the house. um and I had a good breakfast, so I know my thing. So and then I can choose 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 of them, and then you feel the one you want, and then you call them.
Yeah.
And there's always a little trick, with auditions online that you can learn. One thing you just have a secret, right? Like, one of my last secret was I did a few different take, but then one take, when I walked in, I got hit by the doorknob so hard, but I just smiled and flipped, and that was just like, and took that little cut, attached it with a different cut, and I got booked because they didn't see what I did. What I did is basically give them the true me with other true me that I saw, and the smile was right there. It wasn't acting. It was perfect. So as a casting director, I'm like, oh, you killed it. I sent it and I got booked. And it wasn't even about educated. I wasn't even smart. The audition. It was pretty dumb because I couldn't even see
Mhm.
the word at that time. And it was I think it was for Lucifer. I think
Mhm.
because I was supposed to be funny on Lucifer. You can see it in season 5. I think 6. It's episode 13. Either 5 was episode 13. I know it's episode 13. So,
Mhm.
but I think it's the new season, the newest season. So
Mhm.
you can see the little funny twist to it in the end, and that funny twist came from getting knocked down. So when I show up to the set, another secret that I didn't know what Shirley Temple was. So they
Mhm.
offered Shirley Temple. I didn't know till after they shot. So sometimes not knowing things on the script sometimes is my secret. Like I skip things like not knowing it because so like why do I need to know that? You know, but this some stuff. So because I didn't know it, after my shot, I asked the guy, "What is Shirley Temple?" And he told me that it was a non-alcoholic drink. And they asked me, and I'm like, "Oh." Because if I knew as plain as a sheikh that was not alcoholic drink, if I knew that, they're gonna give me Shirley Temple. But they asked me, "You want Shirley Temple?" I'm like, "All right." You're thinking that I was thinking, okay, I'll drink alcohol, but the truth is
Yeah.
it wasn't. That like the whole world knows not alcohol it is.
Mhm.
So it's a little secret. So it's like a little thing you can do
Mhm.
online audition, but it's just note that to go back to your question. I know we went off a little bit. Online audition is very important, and the one thing I recommend, you can look at YouTube and stuff like this. But there is a guy, actor teachers out there. His name is Glenn Morshower. I think he
Mhm.
charged about $100 a month, but in person probably thousands because he's a super super busy actor. He's in all 250 movies or something. Very good actor, but he has his own technique. And I saw his online teaching was really good. If you do his online teaching or online schools, like you become really good on online auditions. You know, like you just like this is they were doing online audition before the pandemic, and after, during the pandemic, we all fall in love with it. So my actor, for example, like just last week, one of my friend, they say my actor, I'm not an agent, but one of the actors that we work with, but his name uh, Malik Rahbani. He lived in Burbank. From Burbank to LA, which is literally at night, take you 5 minutes, maybe
Mm-hmm.
10 minute drive. Really, come on. It took him. Well, he didn't go. Yeah, maybe more because he had to go to LAX near LAX. So it took him 45 minutes to get an Uber to his house. Just to, the Uber was driving to his house. Took him 45 minutes, and then he picked him up. Took another 45 minutes to get him there, and then he got another Uber to go back. Took another 45 minutes to get that Uber. Another 2 hours to get back, and about $150 later. And of course, he didn't get the role. And I was just freaking out, like because it's the country just reopened, the LA, so
Mm-hmm.
everything is just like schools and all of it's just all just in one. So online auditions are I'm gonna push them as much as I can toward they want to see you in person. Okay, I gotta see him in person. So I know a lot of the casting directors are pushing that. When we did the agent last month, we did the open call for the agents of
Mm-hmm.
PSA. They're all online auditions. So we're gonna do more for Mensa next year, all online auditions. It's so much fun. Just pick a little script somebody give you, or if you had just pick like a monologue and just practice. And if you want to send it to me, I'll look at it for fun. If you that's something, if you want to hear me, I'll look at it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it's nice. I'll post it for you if you want me to. Just whatever. Just
Mm-hmm.
use me as the, I'm always like posting and see people like, oh, I'm proud of you. Before I'm like, oh, that's silly to say that to people, right? I'm like, of
Mm-hmm.
course, I have to now to say that to people because I'm casting director. I'm the CSA. I'm proud of you, even though I feel like a little silly saying it, but I'm truly proud of you. And hopefully, people understand we're proud of you as casting. That you, when I post something on your Instagram, like, hey, I'm proud of you. True, like I'm not saying it so you can like my post. I'm saying it because I worked so hard to get here, and I'm looking at it from the other side now.
Mm-hmm. True. Do you think that platforms such as Netflix, HBO, Amazon Prime, etc., are the only future for our industry? Do you think they will be taking over our theaters?
No, no, they won't be taking our theaters because we love theaters. We miss theaters. So then we take our theater. I mean, there's the TV that costs $3,000 that I was looking at, maybe like 2,000, but it was so nice. You can just see everything. Like you can see all like it's like 4K or something. I don't know, but still, like I don't know, you can buy this and hang out with the kid. But still, you want to go to the movie theater. You want to go out, have fun. My first date with my wife was at a movie theater. you know, my son wants to go to the movie all the time. So, no, I don't think movie. No way. I mean, movie would never die. The movie theater would never die. It's only grow bigger and better, and people are gonna keep coming to it. And the streaming stuff are so amazing. One thing is I don't like about streaming that there's two bad, good and bad. The good that they telling a lot of stories.
Mm-hmm.
So they telling all the stories. They're not packed up and left in a cage. Um, and when they're telling all these stories, a lot more stories being inspired and tell.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of actors are acting, and all over the world open up. So I really hope there's more streamers out there. And because we have these phones now, we can just like grab the phone and just watch something. You can
True.
watch something on a little screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it doesn't. So you can watch a movie now while you're reading, or while you're checking the email, or. So or you can just listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever listened to a show? I just listen to I have a show running in my ear. No, online streaming is gonna get more, hopefully better quality because it'll
Mm-hmm.
be more competitive, and there's will be more work for everybody. There's a lot of work coming out like this year. Like right now, people are opening up, but they're finding themselves on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
LA just opened, but we all going on vacation. So we'll be back right after August, in August. And
Mhm.
in August myself, I'm shooting 2 feature films. So, um, it's do online audition, master it. Don't be like if it was 2 years ago. Uh, if it was 2 years ago and somebody let's move out of LA, I would freak out. Like my career is gone. I
Yeah.
can be anywhere now.
Mhm.
I can be anywhere in the world with internet access. I can act. I can go to acting school, and I can submit to all the jobs. And as long as I have a U.S. passport, I can pop with a couple $1,000 in my bank account, saving. Always have up to $5,000 in your bank account that you don't touch, because that money you're gonna probably pay it for a feature film that they can't pay you to be on. It's gonna
Mhm.
happen. It'll happen one day. Like the feature film is so good, but they can't pay too much, and they're only casting people from that area. You have to go there.
Mhm.
And then constantly the people look for legit representative. There's so many people wants to do the job with you. There's some people who are not actors, who just want to be in the film industry like you. So
Mhm.
they collect, and it's easier for them in the beginning to feed off people like yourself, like not you particularly, but to become agent using your name or manager. If they're not agent or manager for 10, 20 years, so they don't have an online website and they're not working, they're not, don't submit to those people. Submit the best
Sure.
people, and every day submit
Mhm.
every day. Make sure, even if you have one, even if you have an agent, submit for another agent. You're not. This is just not your wife or your husband, man. It's just like you got a
Mhm.
year with them. You gotta break up and move on, and you can come back later. They'll respect you more.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
don't stay hostage to them. Don't be
Mhm.
hostage to those people. I mean, I've got people I brought to this country, and they're hostage to the agent and the manager. I'm like, why? You can get better agent. I give you here. Call this guy. No,
Mhm.
no, no. She's nice. She's really nice. She's nice. Being on set is nice. Being an audition is nice. You
True.
know, this is one thing you need to know. It's sometimes it's not us casting or filmmakers. Is actors being idiot enough that sign up with dumbasses representative, and they think they're done. But we're done. We have my agent, my agent. It's like talking about your girlfriend every time. My girlfriend, my girlfriend. They're
Mhm.
not doing anything for you, and they won't. They're doing it for themselves. They're constantly going to get more people. As a casting director, I'm online every day. My ultimate thing, I want people to join my website. I want more people in there. So I want more of you. I want 100 of you or 1,000 of you alone in my website. How loyal am I to you right now? Like you cast me for something, man. I'm cast 1,000 of you first, because that's my job. But the agent should have you alone. You know,
True.
have just you and then maybe a guy or a girl, and then they have like maybe 20, 30, 50 people. But they'll have 1,000 people in your agency. You know that you're
Yeah.
in trouble.
Mhm.
Just get the best people, man, and just don't stop there. Your relationship is for a lifetime. You know, don't be loyal to them too much. I mean, be loyal to your business. If they're not doing a good job for you, move out fast,
Mhm.
because they're gonna, like right now. I know for sure some people right now piss me off because they are with some agency right now. Those agency, they're not even in the office or at home working. They're probably doing something completely different and waiting for Hollywood to open again. While you
Mhm.
sitting at home as an actor, you have your camera ready, you have your green screen ready, you have your brain is ready, and you're just waiting to act and nothing coming to you. It's because your agent sucks, not one, and then maybe you too sucks. Maybe your picture sucks. Your picture is probably is not as good. You know, a lot of tell people you working in the industry, they only have BMWs, for example, right? And you come out as a Honda with your headshot. You know,
Yeah.
like you give me a headshot. It looks like a Honda quality. Oh yeah, it's a nice headshot, but it's a Honda. I want a BMW. It's not a Ferrari. Because I know some people, for example, who was an actor I was talking about early. He has so much money. He pays $70,000 for his headshots. And then you look at, they're not headshot. They're pictures of you. You know, they look like a UQ shoots at the waist. What do you want that? That's like social media stuff. I want the headshot. Maximum cost 7, 8, maybe $1,000. That's it. At maximum. So a headshot, professional. Look up online. The best headshot in LA. The best headshot, whatever you at. and compare them. Look at the reviews. Get the best headshot. Ask what lens they're using, what camera they're using. Look at the reviews. See, and then what if they're making makeup? They all need makeup. They all need suits. So can you shave your beard there when you do a beard? Just ask all these questions. This headshot is very very important. If you But when you're looking at it, when I look at some headshot, there's some actors like, oh well, this guy has money, but some actors are really, really like famous now, has a really nice headshot, and some of them don't. But I think when you become kind of popular, you don't see Rami Malek going doing it for shoot. He
Mm-hmm.
does. He doesn't do it on his own. He doesn't get headshot. I mean, he can. It will help him out. It will be nice for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he probably get all free stuff. But he
Yeah.
doesn't go and pay for the headshot. He doesn't need to anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
you do. I do. Everybody does. And you do need to do that every 6 months. And I know sounds like, whoa, that's a lot. I have here in our office, we have a camera that does hotshot and all the equipment that I got. You know, they were very expensive. It took me 2 years to get them, but I have them all. Like set up, boom, boom, done. If I have
Mm-hmm.
to.
Yeah. True. Very good tips, really, for especially for those who wish to start in the industry. Um, Most, if not all, your projects as a casting director are projects that are produced and shot in the United States. Have you ever thought of casting projects being shot in Europe in the near future?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we're shooting one in Egypt right now. It's gonna be shooting soon in August. That I cast it here in Los Angeles. Cast stuff back in the days, for small stuff in Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I cast here and shot there. So I just did the casting here online, and they did it there. So I did a couple of things like this. But yeah, I mean, I've never been in Europe myself. I only been to airports, the European airports. But yeah, I mean, I would love. I mean, I love to go anywhere, to do any casting. At the end of the day, yeah, I am Arab American casting. And that's just like the business idea and all that. But there's two part of me. There's the guy who owns the Middle Eastern Casting.com, actor.com, whatever, Arab American Casting, all that is good stuff. But there's
Mm-hmm.
also a casting director career that going. And the way it worked with casting is just like we interview for jobs and have
Mm-hmm.
reviews and maybe somebody will see me here will give me a job. So just like
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I've got a couple interview. They never called back. Maybe they don't like the price, or maybe they're not shooting. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I usually always like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very friendly and trying. Ultimately, when the project come to me, sometime it's it's mostly about we want to make some money, but it's mostly about the people that on our website to make sure they get something too because they're on there, and I want to constantly email them with jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and then go forward, what would you tell your past you and your future you?
Well, past me, I would say is not that bad. You know, I mean, that makes sense on the other side. And then my future me, I don't know. I mean, the future. Uh, in the future, I would say, I don't know. What would you say in the future? I mean, because of the future come and could have been done faster. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would have said. Could have been done a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. What are your favorite genres as a spectator?
Oh, like films.
Mm-hmm. What type
Oh,
of films do you like?
I like anything that travel into space. I like all space movies. I just
Like
can't take
science
enough of that.
fiction. Mm-hmm.
I just love it. I love like the all mankind film that are on. I just love it. I'm like, wow. I love anything that has to do with Mars. Aliens. I love aliens a lot. The aliens, space. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars yet. I haven't got into it. I was saving it to watch it with my kid. I think he's still young, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
probably be soon. because it's like on the tablet now. It's all over. So I'll be watching that soon. But I my favorite show was with Battlestar Galactica. That's like the best show ever. I still think like these people are still in space somewhere lost for real because
Hmm.
the way they set it up, I'm like it's probably up there somewhere. It's probably a real story. Yeah.
How
So
about as an actor? What's your favorite genre to work as an actor?
um, I love Human Centipede. I love scary movies. I love being I love Mobster. Mobster was my favorite role because I was young. I was like 12 years ago, but I got to like be like I wasn't a bad guy. I was a really good guy. So like I'd like to have like the good guy, but you think he was bad.
Hmm.
Um, but it would be nice to play like a lead role. Like a nice role. Like a nice shaving or cleaning role. You know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
but I think uh, to be lead in a scary movie or disgusting movie like Human Centipede, to just carry that all on my own, that would be like something that I would cherish because it just it's not something I would watch too.
Hmm.
That's the whole thing. Like
Hmm.
I've seen Human Centipede, but I never saw it again. Makes sense. I saw it
Hmm.
homework.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love Human Centipede one. It's my favorite movie. I
Hmm.
was inspired by it. I'm like, I want to be like that. Like, I want to have like my doctor robe, and I want to just butcher people and stick them together. you know, and part of it because my favorite director, who was born on my birthday, uh, Alfred Hitchcock. So
Oh,
he was born on August 13. I was born on August 13, and I love all his movies. So maybe because of that, but I always love scary movies, but it just to just the Joker. To see the Joker, I was
hmm.
just like blowing my mind. I'm like, why is this not me? Why is it not me? It's like so jealous. It is so jealous. The performance was so amazing.
Yeah.
Every moment he did on it, it was so good. Um, yeah, that kind of role people would die for,
Yeah,
definitely.
but see, that role, for instance, it wasn't really the character, it was the actor.
Yeah,
No one could have done that role better
yeah.
than him.
Yeah, I think I have those kind of like weird, things that I can do like in me because of things that I've done. And I can't really do it in live, like when I go a Human Centipede and just scream the F out in some movies or like, those all things that you can't do in life, you really can't. Like you can't go out there and yell at people. When you're Human Centipede, I come out like just big performance, or like the last movie, you just come out and just have a big monologue to everybody. But I'm doing like 3 or 4 or 6 or 100 times on set. Like I just
Mhm.
keep redo, and in the
Mhm.
same way. So that's why it's like you're doing the same character over and over and over again. You like by the time they shot it, you become you. Weird. And
Yeah.
then you leave. When you leave, after you learn, like after a few films and a lot of people talks about it, you leave the character behind. It died. When you leave
Mhm.
the set, the character is dead.
Yeah.
Um, but there's in the feature film that I played in the last two movies, Human Centipede and Mobster, the character, spoiler alert, didn't die. He went on. So that's why in back in my head, I'm like, maybe one day I can come back.
Hey, true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Hamza, we are
We're
coming
done.
to the end of this
Yeah.
interview. Is there anything you would like to add or talk about?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, just be proud of who you are. You can't change who you are. Like I love my grandma. She's Arabic. She went to the Hajj like 60 times and probably walked there at one a few times. She had like 15 kids. I don't know how many kids she had. She raised all of them. She was great. She was Muslim, but nobody knows. She kept it to herself. And she kept a lot of things to herself. And my grandma always said, "There's nothing in this world. There's really nothing in it." And I'm like, "Whoa, you have like so many kids and grandkids." But yeah, there's nothing in it. There's really nothing here. for you. You know, you just have to kind of like enjoy it and smile and um, you know, and just have a mission. You know, so you can, you know, because she said there's nothing here, but you can make it. You can make a lot of things here. You know,
Mhm.
your happiness. You know, all your friends, your family. You know, a lot. I feel I see a lot of people on Clubhouse. I see people throughout my career, Arab American, Middle Eastern people. They're like wing broke. They don't even know that. But then that's what we're here for. You make sure your wing is not broken. You have backbone. The people. I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I actually love what I do as a casting director, but I'm also acting, doing voiceovers. So we're in the field together. You know, we're I want to change it together. You know, we're
Yeah.
so. But please, if you're Middle Eastern or anybody, include people. Like doesn't have to be your people. Just just include them. If you see somebody like you think that person wouldn't be included here, include them. Make people's day, like Mother Teresa said. You're gonna hear that from get me. You know, make people happy when you leave them, happier than you left them, than you found them. You know, so um, you know, but no, seriously, I mean, my company, I'm happy about it because it, without knowing, sometimes it leaves smiles on their people's faces, and on social media they see it, they feel a little hope. But I want to tell them like, yeah, this is it's really true, and you can use me as a mentor if you want, whatever you want. You can email me your happiness, your gold, whatever it is. We're here for you, and if you're good, I'll make money and I'll succeed. Most of my work, when I became CSA, I text all of my actors for for the past three feature film, and I told them, because of you, I got this. They're like, no, no, you got this. No, no, because of you. Because I got two other feature films that I lost because of them. Because the other bad Arab actors that they want to
Mhm.
change the whole movie, they want to make them self producers, they want to take $50,000 out of it behind my back. No, you went, I give you that low budget movie and you did it. And you made it into a movie, you know. And you didn't stab me from the back, you didn't do any crazy shit, and you represented my people the best way possible. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, we all have responsibility to make Arabic people and Middle Eastern people the way it was. Really, I mean, we're really, like it just because before we're never play terrorists. We never were before the 80s. I mean,
Well,
not even 20 years ago, what happened? I mean, now we're
yeah.
like all of a sudden that. So please just don't. We're not gonna play that anymore. Not
Mhm.
saying you won't see me playing the terrorist anymore. If you see me, it'll be more painful, more
Mhm.
more flipable to more. It's not gonna be like that. Trust me. We will do our best. Like we flipped our last feature film, the terrorist guy. We made him into assassin. We'll continue to do that. You know, we will
Mhm.
continue to represent our people together. But I won't do it by myself. So I need everybody to help me.
Mhm. Well, HAMZAH Saman, it's been a pleasure sharing this afternoon with you at Tell Me Over Coffee and letting us know a little bit more about you. Some people already knew you, and others, well, they know you now, not only as a casting director, but also as an actor and as a producer. I also wish to thank you all for following this interview and always being there supporting culture, because life without it is quite boring. You can follow HAMZAH Saman's career on his social media, which I will be including with this video on YouTube and IGTV. And we continue with the mysterious guest for the next day. I'll post it the day before, so you stay tuned to my social media and take care. Please be responsible. Don't forget your mask, because even though most of us have already passed it and or are vaccinated, the bug is still out there, and many of us have not yet been vaccinated. So please be responsible. Thank you all. Thank you, HAMZAH, for your time. I hope to see you all soon. And HAMZAH, I hope to interview you another time.
I'll be
Thank
here.
you so
I'll
much.
be right
Thank,
here waiting.
thank
Bye.
you. Bye.